Hi, greetings from the Gulf Islands in the North Pacific. We are in Canada, but technically we are closer to the States. We're below the 49th parallel here, these southern Gulf Islands. Whoever drew up the border back in the day must have had too many wobbly pops, because if you look at the border, we should be in the U.S., but we're not in the U.S. We're on the Canadian side, even though we are at 48 degrees north latitude. Anyway, happy Independence Day. I hope you're having a good day wherever you may be in the good old USA. And it's a beautiful day here. It's about 71 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny with mostly blue sky. There's a little bit of a haze that just kind of came in. And and we have a light ocean breeze here, which is nice. We are close to the ocean, right across the street from the ocean. I'm trying to get the flags near. We got 3 flags. These flags were sent to me. Actually, Krista gave me one, and the other 2 were sent to me by people I talked to on my two-way radio. So I always get people sending me flags. I have them from Belgium, Italy, and France, too. So there you go. Keep those American flags in there so you can see it. And I have a lot of friends in the good old USA. Gotta love my American friends. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day out there. I went for a ride today. Wendy and I went for a really nice ride yesterday, motorcycle ride. We went to when we got to the ferry, there was 8 other Harley Davidsons getting ready to load on the boat. So we chatted with them. They were tourists from a long way away from southeastern British Columbia, a town called Castlegar. So it's just above Idaho. I think if you go across the border from Idaho, you get into that area there. It's the Kootenays. I've never been there before. But you can get into 4 states from the province of British Columbia. You can get into Alaska, you can get into Washington, you can get into Oregon, you can get into you can get into Washington, Idaho, Montana, Alaska. And you can also get to Alberta, Yukon, and Northwest Territories. So British Columbia is a pretty cool province. Where I live, I'm on the small islands off the southwest coast. British Columbia is a pretty good sized province. It's about 2.5 times bigger than Texas. Hello, Jonathan Payne, Pilado. Good to have you in there, man. I hope you're having a good day wherever you may be. I'm on the Gulf Islands in the North Pacific. That's where we're at. A long way probably from everybody in there. So cheers to you guys. And thanks for tuning in the live stream. Yo, man, Oliver, good to have you in there. Happy Independence Day. Yes, I do live in Canada, but I do celebrate Independence Day here because our islands are very close to the United States. And I have a lot of good friends that live in the United States of America. I talked to the 2 stations in California on my two-way radio. Hello, Black Frame. You know what? My ex-mother-in-law was from Manchester, in Liverpool, and she's passed away now. Really nice lady. So my ex-wife was British, Hillary. And yeah, her parents were both born in England. You know, my daughter, she got her British passport there quite a few years ago, and then she moved to England, and she lived in Taunton, near Devon, and then she moved to South Cornwall. Hello, Sir Happy 4th from Italy. Wow, Italy, cool. Well, you know what? My dad's side of the family is Italian, and they're from a small town in Reggio di Calabria, Ardori, Reggio di Calabria, on the toe of the boot in southern Italy, right across from Sicily. So they're here, and Sicily's right there. So southern Italy, that's my Italian heritage there. So greetings, and thank you for coming in from Italy. I often talk to Italy too on my two-way radio. I have a lot of friends in Italy. That's one place I have not been yet. I would love to see Italy. My wife would love to see Italy too. It's a beautiful country, good people, good food, and lots of history. I'm on the heels, sir. We are cool. So my Nono, he grew up on an olive farm there in southern Italy, Clementi Olive Farm. No, I'm in Canada, Black Frame. I'm on a small island. I'm on a small island off the southwest coast of British Columbia. I'm on the southern Gulf Islands, but I'm wishing all my friends a happy Independence Day. So we got the flags out here. It's 4th of July. Canada Day was July 1st. So I am on the Gulf Islands off the far Pacific coast of Canada. And the name of my island is Salt Spring Island, okay? So look that up. You Google it. Salt Spring Island. I'll show you what it looks like here. We grow a lot of palm trees on this island. We have a lot of beautiful plants. Let me spin this around so you can see. This part of Canada is very different. Yeah, lots of good fishing here. Lots of salmon and lingcod. There's lots of crabs out there, oysters, clams, mussels, flounder, you name it. There's halibut out here. And I've done a lot of fishing. And then we have 11 lakes. We have 11 lakes on this island. And the lakes are full of rainbow cutthroat trout and bass. So this is what it looks like where I live on the Gulf Islands in the North Pacific. That's jasmine blooming there. It's very, very fragrant. So sweet, the smell of the jasmine. So yeah, lots of fishing around here. And we always eat fresh fish, right? I always have fresh fish here. I'm going to turn off the irrigation because I've been watering the garden. There's an irrigation system there, and I'll show you the back of the place here. Well, I bet you it's beautiful in Italy where you live, man. There. So this is what it looks like here. And here's some native trees. Those are Douglas fir. That's a Douglas fir. That's a grand fir. That is western hemlock. That's western red cedar. And we have a lot of big trees. Those are Pacific madrona trees. They're very tropical looking. Those are arbutus. And yeah, you name it, and it really does grow in this part of Canada. Lots of palm trees and tropical-like plants. And the winters are nice here. They're just wet, rainy winters, cloudy. So what spot to live in? It's true, very different from the rest of Canada. This is the best place to live in Canada, the West Coast. You want the best winters and the mildest winters, you come to the West Coast. There's loquat, figs. We have olive trees. Lots of figs coming. You can see the figs here. They're getting big. Soon we will eat the figs. See the figs there? Lots of figs. Oh, I love figs. They're so good. That's we have Italian honey fig. We have Cadota, brown turkey, dessert king. So yeah, this is probably let me spin this around so you can see the flags again. This is the best place. If you want a mild climate, you got to come here to the west coast of Canada. If you want mild winters, you want the mildest winters in the land, you come to this area. Italy is fine, but to be honest, it's too... Is it? Well, I'm actually applying for my Italian passport. Yeah, so I want to get my Italian passport because I can get it because my Nono and Nona were born in Italy. Even my dad's oldest sister was born in Italy. And she moved to Canada, to Vancouver, when she was around 11 or 12 years old, a long time ago. She just passed away about a year and a half ago at 101 years old. But yeah, summers here are really nice. So right at about 40%. So low humidity, you don't sweat here. No sweating, it's dry. Summers are dry. Not often we get humid days. So you'd like it here. You'd love these islands. Look up. Italy does get hot. Even in northern Italy, go up to Milan, it'll get hot. So look up Salt Spring Island on the southern Gulf Islands. And it's a ferry ride. You have to go, there's a ferry terminal south of Vancouver. And that's how we get to our islands here. The only way to get to this island is by ferry boat. And you actually have to make a reservation to get over. Not easy to get to these islands. Cost of living is a lot higher on these islands, but it's really worth it. No traffic lights, no street lights. Very nice. I'm sorry for your loss, sir. I hope you can come. Yeah, I'd love to see Italy. That's on my bucket list. My wife would really love to see Italy. And the food. Oh, I love Italian food. Right? Italian food is the best, especially when it's authentic Italy. We actually have a nice Italian deli here on our island. And he moved here from Italy, Max Del Vecchio. He moved here from Italy and he opened up his pasta shop, the deli, in 2008, I believe it was. And he makes all homemade pasta in this shop. He's very Italian, born and raised in Italy. And he's around, I think he's probably around 50, maybe 50 years old now, something like that, 55. Good guy, great food. So you want authentic Italian when you come to this island, you go to Pasta Fresca, Max Del Vecchio. And they actually sell the olive oil from my Nono's olive farm that he used to live on, that he grew up in southern Italy in Reggio Calabria. It's called Clementi olive oil. Look that one up. Clementi olive oil. So he sells it in his deli there. It's good olive oil. Virgin cold pressed olive oil. You got to watch some of the olive oil because a lot of it's fake now. It's been cut with canola and stuff like that. So anyway, if you don't like lots of heat in the summertime, you want just a nice mild summer where you're not sweating to death. Summer's here absolutely perfect. It is a great place to garden, good place to go fishing. You can go hunting here. There's deer, lots of deer to hunt, and people here are very nice. And it's very far from all the rat race of the city. How do you know that about the fake? Because I know that I've seen a documentary on it, and some of that olive oil is actually cut with canola. And I think some of the mafia does that stuff, and even some of the other countries. God, good to see Joe. Come to Dallas, Texas, if you want bitter winters, but brutal heat. Make a tropical garden. Yeah. Well, my son lived in the Toby. My oldest son Ryan lived in Weslaco, Texas. Right. He married a girl from Weslaco. They're not married anymore. They were married for about 4 years or so. But he went down and he lived in Weslaco, Texas, and it gets hot down there. Hunting there in Canada must be, yeah, there's hunting here on our island for deer. And if you want the big game, you got to go up into the interior. You can go moose and elk. Well, there's actually elk on Vancouver Island. There's lots of elk. I've seen them. They're actually elk, Roosevelt elk all over Vancouver Island. Yeah, Toby, I'd like to go to Texas too. That's a good state to live in. Texas, nice free state. I have friends in Corpus Christi. And I talk to a lot of friends. I have a lot of people I talk to on my two-way radio in Texas. So Dallas, Fort Worth. I've been to Dallas, Fort Worth, but only at the airport. I was en route to Florida, to Miami. And that was a long time ago. But yeah, Texas is a really good state to live in. And there's all different types of climates. There's desert. There's kind of like subtropical if you go into the south. And then there's even colder areas of Texas too. Yeah, Westclo is pretty much hot all year. Maybe the streets where he lived were lined with palm trees. Beautiful there. He used to Skype with me when he was down there. And he would Skype, and I remember seeing all the palm trees he'd show me. It's absolutely beautiful, man. Like palm trees, like Los Angeles palm trees. They're everywhere. So when I see that tells me a little something about the climate. Here, I'll turn what we got. This is what we're looking at. I mean, there's no shortage of palms here either. We have a lot of palm trees on this island. There's actually a lot of cool stuff that actually grows here on our island. And these ones been in the ground over 30 years. And there's some bigger ones in the front and around the back too. They just kind of naturalize. They grow all over the place. They just drop seeds, grow. And then we got the native vegetation, and it's just like this, that, and the other. But yeah, I'd like to Texas. I could live in Texas for sure. Not a problem. I know down in the south they get hurricanes and stuff like that. Hello, my friend Raz. There you are. Raz made it in. Happy 4th of July to all my American friends in the good old USA. I got 3 flags here. So one flag Wendy's daughter gave me like last year. But the 2 other flags, radio operators sent me that I talked to, because they send, when I talk to somebody, we send, like if they want a card, like instead of a postcard, radio operator sends something called a QSL card. A QSL card is it confirms the radio station you talk to, right? Happy 4th of July, Raz. Good to have you in there. Yeah, people tend to they just barely not tropical. Yeah, but it's cool down there, man. Southern Texas. I think Raz is going to Texas. Check out Raz's channel. There's my radio room there. That little building. And there's one of my antennas right there. You see, right now it's pointed into California. That's a motor. And I can turn it where I want to. There's an antenna. There's an antenna, and then there's another one way over there. So, and actually, I have a friend I talk to in Minnesota a lot, but the atmospheric conditions and the solar cycle have messed things up. So I haven't been hearing Minnesota much lately. The only person I'm hearing from Minnesota is Raz on her live stream, right? And it's funny, I do actually have a friend named Raz here, but it's with his last name's Rasmussen. So we've always called him Raz ever since we were little kids. And it's funny, he moved to this island long before I did, and then we kind of reunited. I went to elementary school with him, and then I think it was in grade 10 in 1980. He moved to this island, and I knew that because he'd come back and visit once in a while to the mainland when I lived south of Vancouver. I actually lived on a border town very close to Washington State. We were kids. We used to ride down to Zero Avenue, they called it, and it was a road that actually separated Canada and the U.S. So basically, on the other half of the road was Washington State, and the other half, your neighbors, was in Canada. And we were kids back in the late 70s, like I'm like talking 76, 77, 78. We'd ride our bikes across there. Do you kind of live off? No, no, we're on grid, man. We're totally 100% on grid here. There are people that live off grid, but you know, there's an island north of here called Savory Island. It's quite far north of here, and they're fully off the grid, and it's completely surrounded by white sand beaches, and it's lots of palm trees up there. My home previous owner installed a ham radio tower. Whoa! Pad that the tower is part of the foundation. No way! That is so cool. Back in the day when I had a really big tower up on my last location, I remember digging it. That would have been digging the hole for the tower would have been in the 1980. Because I remember putting the beam together and everything, assembling it, and around December 1980, and then actually erecting everything in beginning early January 1981. And I remember digging that. I was 16 years old, and I dug the hole 3 to 4 feet deep and poured it full of concrete. And then I had to put some ready rod down there for the tower to go up. My tower actually had guy wires on it. It had 3 guy wires, and I had another beam antenna. I've run a lot of antennas since 1977. I'm 61 now, and I've been talking on the radio since 1977. I'll show you the radio room. We'll go into the radio room, okay? Anyway, gotta love the beautiful American flags. Let me just spin that around. There we go, the beautiful stars and stripes. And let me grab my shoes here. It's warm out here. In the sun, it's a lot warmer. In the shade, around 70, 71 degrees. And humidity's really low. I'll show you, Raz. We'll show you the back here, the south slope garden. So that plant down there is a jungle of bamboo. That's called Fargesia robusta. It looks totally tropical. There's a bald cypress behind it, the ones you see growing in the swamplands of Louisiana. Taxodium distichum. That's loquat there, Eubotia japonica. There's fig, lots of figs on that. There's guavas down below. And then we got Fatchias, eucalyptus. Lots of palms here. And yeah, it's hard to believe that we are in Canada, but the proof is in the pudding. There's the native trees, western red cedar, that's Thuya plicata. There's western hemlock, grand fir, and Douglas fir, Pseudotsuga mensaesii. And there is that right there is Pacific madrona, very tropical looking tree. And let's just go into the radio room, and I'm just going to show you quickly where I broadcast from. I work 2 stations in California today, but you know, the band has been pretty quiet these days just because of the solar cycle. It actually really affects the airwaves. These are timber bamboo, and they've only shot up like this in a few weeks. They've become 15 to 16 feet tall. That's how fast these bamboo grow, right? And I was actually in a lady's garden today digging out some bamboo. Jasmine, sweet smelling jasmine vines are amazing. I planted these in 1999 when they were so tiny and crazy. If you like the smell of jasmine, you would love it. I don't have smell-o-vision, unfortunately, but it smells tropical in here. So these are big vines, okay? They're growing all up through the bamboo. And then you can see the palms, and then Wendy's hydrangeas. And we collect license plates too. This is just some of our license plates. 1959 Hawaii, that's an old one. 59 British Columbia, Maine, and old British Columbia 1952. California, another Maine, North Dakota, Panama, and then there's some old Alberta ones. Okay, so there's Wendy's art gallery there. Here's my radio room, okay? Those are kiwi vines there. See those big leafy vines? Not these, but the ones that are going all over the place up there. Those are called Actinidia deliciosa. So that's the big fuzzy kiwis you buy in the store. I planted those vines over 30 years ago, and they're just tons of kiwis they produce, the big fuzzy kiwis, right? So I harvest those in December once we get our first frost. Frost usually comes here in December. And then there's the beam. There's the man cave. Hopefully my signal won't die. And Wendy kicked me out of the house and put me out here a couple of years ago because I make too much noise. I don't have an inside voice. Hawaiian flag. Then here's the radios. Now, hopefully my signal don't die. If it does, I'll go out. So here's some of the radio. The beam, that's my beam operator that controls the antenna. So yeah, I have a lot of radios. You need some Japanese mandarins. We do have oranges. Yes, we do have citrus here growing as well. Satsuma we have kumquat, we have Meyer lemon, yuzu lemon, and we have pomelo. That's what we have here. So here's the radios, and this is the man cave, Guam, and then there's Hawaii plates and just a whole bunch of crazy, crazy. So yeah, and that's what I look out. I look out at this kind of jungle here through this thing that Wendy built me, this little 8x8 radio room, and it's pretty much soundproof. She can't hear my voice through here. So I come out here and I make lots of noise, and I talk all over the world. And here's my card. Okay, this is what a QSL card looks like. There's my call number right there, and 9 Alpha Tango 791. So when somebody wants to confirm that I talked to them, I send them that. It's kind of like a postcard. Then I write on it. There's our Salt Spring flag. I'll show you something even cooler. So we have our own currency here. Here's Salt Spring money. There's our Salt Spring currency, okay? That's a $2 bill, and that's a Hawaiian on it, one of the first settlers on our island. And these are par with the Canadian dollar. There's our island right there, Salt Spring Island. So $2, and there's denominations all the way to $100, and there's even a coin too. So there's more of it here. There's $1, $1 right there, and I have fives, and there's tens, and there's 20s, and there's 50s. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This microphone I bought in 1977. I've had that one a long time. It was used when I bought it too, right? So these are D104s, the amplify the voice. So anyway, I'm going to come back out here later, and we're going to see if we can long distance, some long distance stations. Sir, I need to ask, do you work or you? Yeah, I'm retired. Well, you know what? I took a whole year off. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Raz. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm semi-retired. So, you know, when you live on a small island here, people get to know you. And I've been on this island a long time, so I know a lot of people. So the minute I retired from the Parks Department, I had a really good government job, Parks and Rec. I retired. My last day of employment with that company was end of November, November 30th, 2021. Thanks, Raz. Cheers to you, and happy 4th. And I'll try to go around the front. Wendy was cleaning one of our kayaks. So end of November 2021 was my last day. And actually, my last day of actual physical labor was end of October 2021, but I had holiday time I had to use up. So then I took a whole year off. And while I was off, I had people phoning me and asking me left and right, do you want to come work for me? Do you want to come work for me? But when you're retired, you become picky and choosy. So I was really picky and choosy. I decide where I decide what I want to do for if I want a part-time job. So the first guy that phones me up, and he's a good guy and it pays well, is Ed, the septic tank guy, Gulf Island septic tank truck. So I'd be driving a septic tank truck, pumping out, I call it the honey wagon, septic tanks. I thought about that. I said, nah, I don't want to clean out septic tanks when I'm retired. And he says, no, Joe, you'd be good, because I got my air brakes license. I can drive a big truck. And he says, come on, Joe, it pays well. I says, no, thanks, Ed. Get somebody else to do it. So, and then the next guy to come up to me was a guy that he wanted me to drive a water tanker truck and fill up people's water tanks if they're well too far from I'm running Starlink, but there's the tree fern there. It's big. It's a big tree fern right there, Dicksonia antarctica, Tasmanian tree fern. It's a really big plant. So anyway, I'm going to go back in here, and we'll go back to where those beautiful American flags are. And then we're doing steak tonight for 4th of July.
So I don't even think we understand how hard it was for you to come back from one war zone to another one.
There's a view for you.
Where people weren't even acknowledging your service back then. So,
yeah, you pretty much get a palmy view out of every window of this house. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, sorry about the interruption there. The thing died out, the signal. So there you go. There's a view from the kitchen windows, and the bedroom windows, same thing. Lots of palms. It doesn't really look like Canada from this point, does it? But it is. Okay, I'm going to go back out into the sun and have some fun. So we're doing top sirloin steaks tonight. I like steak. Better not eat too much of it. I got to watch the cholesterol thing. But there. And make sure we got these flags in there. Could have the U.S. flags in there, right? So is this live stream still going, or is it stunted? Sometimes it freezes a little bit. Come on, let's get some. There we go. Isn't that nice? That is, I like the American flag, man. I think they're freaking awesome flags. Right there. I don't know. I guess you guys are going to have a lot of fireworks tonight, wherever you are. We have a big fireworks display here too. July 1st is Canada's birthday. Was Canada's birthday, and yeah, they have a huge fireworks display in town. They have it out on the barge. The firefighters do it. Yeah, it's nice with low humidity here. Like I can sit out here and there's no bugs. There's no bugs here to bother you, which is really nice. I know I hear some areas you go to and you're getting bitten alive from mosquitoes, black flies, horse flies, whatever, no-see-ums, but no, not the case here. You can sit out here and enjoy a meal and or just sit and do a live stream and not be pestered by bugs. I'm guessing it probably has something to do with the Pacific Ocean around us, right? That probably detours some of them. So, as remote as these islands seem when you're living on them, I think it's only about 24 miles from the mainland, something like that. I think it's something about 24 miles, so not super far. Cheers. What do you think? Isn't that nice? Anyway, yeah, Wendy and I went for a motorcycle ride, yesterday. And yeah, like I said, we got to the ferry boat terminal. There was 8 other bikes there. Actually 9. There was 1 Suzuki and 8 Harley Davidsons. So I met these guys. They were bikers that rode in from Castlegar, southeastern British Columbia. And they were on their way to the west coast of Vancouver Island. But they really liked Salt Spring, and they said they were going to come back for a visit. You can never see this island in just one day. There's a lot of things to do and see here on this island, and there's at least 200 B&Bs or so on our island, and the island's not so big, just about 17 miles in length, right? And the highest point is about just over 2,300 feet. South End Mountains, Mount Bruce, then there's Mount Tuam, Hope Hill, Mount Maxwell. There's a lot of mountains here. From one end to the other, it's hilly and mountainous. And where we live on the very northern point of this rock in the Pacific, North Pacific. I hear a chainsaw going. It's actually pretty dry here. We do need some rain desperately. Been watering every day. And some plants can, go several days without water, but they let you know when they need water. They start to sulk a little bit, right? They start to wilt. But most of the stuff we grow seems to be pretty drought tolerant. And I'll sit here and I'll shut up for a little bit. And if you guys want to say anything, go for it. I'm just going to kind of relax. I'm listening to the wind. I'm listening to the wind blow through the trees, the ocean breeze. It's nice. 2020, 2021, that's right. That was when that COVID stuff was going down, right? Remember that. My channel got way more views when that stuff was going on. 2021, 2020, the views on my channel skyrocketed and more subscribers because I think more people were kind of staying home and watching YouTube. So it was good for if you're a YouTube, you produce YouTube videos and people are into it. So I had way more views in a short time. Banana JSSI has over 21 million hits. Not a lot by some of the big YouTubers, right? And then I think Jungle Joe C has around 7.5 million. Something like that, the channel. And I just do it for fun. To me, it's just a hobby, just another hobby. I enjoy shooting videos. I try to put a video on every single day. I don't think I've ever missed a day since 2008, right? Lots of gentle rain here in Dallas, that is lucky. You're lucky to get it. July, I tell you what, we're in the dry season here. The dry season here starts in the spring and it goes right through till about, I'm going to say mid-October. And then after that, then the rain can start to come. Then we get into the rainy season. Palms, Daphne, fine, happy. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's good. Summer rain is the best thing ever. It's acting up on me. Sorry about that, Starlink. But I would prefer, I could grow way more stuff if our winters were dry and cool rather than wet and cool. So if our summers were wet and like this, we could grow way more stuff, right? Like Lugano, Switzerland, they have dry, cool winters, and they have hot palm trees in southern Switzerland at 46 degrees latitude. Degrees north latitude, same latitude as Portland, Oregon, and Lugano and Locarno, Switzerland are full of subtropical plants because their climate permits it. They got this dry, cool winter with occasional snowfall, occasional deep freezes they get, and they can grow everything, man. They have Washingtonias there. They have Phoenix canariensis. I'll flip this around. Here's one of my seed-grown Phoenix canariensis palms right there. That's a cluster of about 7 palms in there. I don't remember where I picked up the seed. There's another one in the corner over there, and then I have some more down on the lower deck as well. And there's another one or two in the greenhouse. But yeah, they're pretty tough palms, these Phoenix canariensis, but they're still short term here. You get a bad freeze, and it's gonna nuke them. I remember a Phoenix canariensis growing along the boardwalk in town. And a Phoenix canariensis is a Canary Island date palm. That's the Latin name for it. And it lasted 10 years, about 10 years. And in 2008, December, we had a really bad freeze, and it killed it. I think the temperature there along the boardwalk was down around -7 degrees Celsius. Hello, Adam B. from Nova Scotia. Another place I'd like to see is Nova Scotia. I'd like to see Sable Island. And you know what? Cape Sable, what's it called? Clark's Harbor. Is it Clark's Harbor? Yeah. My friend was living in Clark's Harbor. Unfortunately, he had to move back. So his wife was a Nova Scotian. And he was born in England, and he moved to Vancouver when he was a little baby. And then, about 15 years ago, he bought a place in Clark's Harbor, Nova Scotia, right on the Atlantic Ocean. Southern end of Nova Scotia there. And unfortunately, he rebuilt it. The house, built in the 1800s, beautiful house. And then he had to sell it because he got dementia. So his kids looked after it, and then they sold it, and now he's back here on the mainland, just south of Vancouver, in a home. And he's not that old. It's quite sad, quite a sad story. But he really loved Nova Scotia. People were really nice, and you know what he ended up buying? It was 2.5 acres, and right on the ocean. He had a couple little islands out there too. Hey man, just two dreamers living life. I like that. Just two dreamers living life. Adam B. Shucks, I'm out. Garden of Eden. I'm out. I'm out. Garden of Eden way. Cool. So you know where Clark's Harbor is, right? Then there's Briar Island. Briar Island, I think, is pretty mild out there too. And then there's the Oak Island. The guys digging up that treasure. Have they ever found that treasure yet? There used to be a show, Oak Island, Nova Scotia. These guys have been digging this treasure for like a decade. Did they ever find anything? They believe that there's a treasure on Oak Island. And I started watching that show when we used to get it. But I don't know if they actually did find the treasure. They figure some pirates buried a treasure out there or something, right? And these guys are digging forever, and they're digging deep too. And they're optimistic. I guess it's good to be optimistic. Maybe they will find some. Maybe they found something. It's wild, much we garden, especially is it nutty palm garden. Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. Palmophiles, right? Yeah, we are palm nuts. The treasure was gone 300 years ago. So, Adam, so there's no treasure then. I was thinking there's no treasure, right? So the treasure's gone. So these guys are digging for nothing. They're going to dig to China. Pretty soon they're going to be on the other side of the freaking planet. So, but I agree with you, Toby. Man, there's a lot of palm growers all over the world too. But yeah, I was kind of getting really psyched up every time that show was on. It's like, are they going to find the treasure today? Are they going to find the treasure? It's like, they must have spent millions looking for that treasure. You know, and I'm sure the show pays them a lot too, Discovery Channel. But all the money they put into looking for a treasure and they haven't found anything. It's like buying a lottery ticket and already planning what you're going to buy, right? When you win. There's, because you've planned it and you think you're going to win, but you know what? The odds of winning a lottery or getting the odds are probably better struck by lightning. There's historical fun facts, but nothing that big. Okay, so did they find anything there digging for that treasure? Did they find any coins? Anything? I think they found some old beams or something they were digging down. You know, like, how deep do pirates bury their treasure? I'm curious. I mean, do they really go that deep when they're burying a treasure? I think they'd probably find more money if they had a metal detector and went up along the beach. Maybe go along one of your beaches in Nova Scotia. You'd probably find some coins, maybe some rings, maybe some gold chains, right? I see people doing that. Even here, I have a metal detector. Wendy bought me one a few years ago. But when we're in Hawaii, when we're on Maui, there's guys going up and down the beach, even Waikiki too, and they find rings and coins and this and that. Odds and ends of an old estate. Oh, really? So nothing. They haven't found anything significant and nothing to make them like multi-millionaires. I would love to know how much money they spent digging and searching for that Oak Island treasure. Adam, I have to ask you a question. Have you ever been to Oak Island? Have you ever been to Sable Island? Sable Island's always interested me. It's a long way off the southwest coast of Nova Scotia, but the climate is different out there, right? It's like a Zone 8B or 8A. It's a Zone 8A, 7B, 8A. The big fun facts are the Knights Templars. Really? Is that right, eh? That's cool. Before Columbus. Wow, I didn't know that. Knights Templars. That's really cool. So Nova Scotia was settled a long time ago. Like they used to have their own currency too. Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland actually had their own currency, and you probably know that. I actually have Nova Scotia coins, uh, New Brunswick coins. I think I have one PEI penny and Newfoundland. I have a Newfoundland, some pennies and a dime, but it's a 1946 C Newfoundland nickel you want to get because that's worth a lot of money. Sable Island's protected sandbar. But you can get to, I think they'll take you out to Sable Island, right? Like you can go, it's Parks Department, right? It's government. But I think they actually take people out there with a plane and they'll take you out there for the day or a couple hours or something, but you got to pay. Is that true? A day trip, right? But it's costly. Any place to stay over there, right? It's, you have to be very eco-friendly. I think there's ponies out there. There's those Sable Island ponies that came from a shipwreck. There's probably some protected birds out there, maybe some different types of seals. Kind of a different climate out there in Sable Island. I think it gets a bit of the Gulf Stream current, if I'm correct. I always thought about going out there and planting some palm trees. How about that? Palm trees on Sable Island. Used to have our last fire chief here was from Nova Scotia. And I used to say, man, if I ever go to Nova Scotia, I want to go to Sable Island, throw a few palm seeds around and see if they'll grow. You know, it is a sandbar. It's a long sandbar, and I think there's a lake out there too. I think there's a freshwater lake. That's where the ponies get their water, right? It's just kind of grass. No real trees much out there or anything. It's mostly grass, isn't it? Grasslands? I have to Google it again. I'll have to watch a YouTube video of it. Something else interests me off the east coast of Canada too. And there's two islands off of Nova Scotia. Okay, there's two islands off in Nova Scotia, and the islands are Miquelon and Saint Pierre. And Miquelon and Saint Pierre are actually owned by France. They're off a 40-minute ferry ride from Newfoundland. Very good idea with the trees and just grass will make fresh water. Yeah, so there is freshwater ponds out there, or maybe a little lake or something. But I heard Sable Island is like 40 or 60 kilometers long. Is that true? It's like maybe 30 miles long, and it's kind of changing. It's actually shifting and changing shape over the years because it is basically a big sandbar, right? But I know there's a station out there, a government house station. Probably they record weather and stuff. One of these days, maybe I'll find my way to Cocos Island off of Costa Rica, far coast. Oh, yeah, I bet that would be cool. You know what? I would love to go to Costa Rica. The lady that stayed in our B&B here for 4 days, she just checked out this morning. She has a place in Costa Rica. I was talking to her. She showed up and she had this tropical dress on. I says, man, your dress is pretty cool. Looked like you just stepped off the plane from Hawaii. And she's blown away with all the palm trees and stuff we grow. And she says, I bought it in Costa Rica. I says, wow, cool. You been to Costa Rica? She says, we own a place in Costa Rica. She goes there for the winter. They live in Nanaimo, up on the big island on Vancouver Island. Wendy's been to Costa Rica. I've never been. Her and her ex went to Costa Rica, but I've never been to Costa Rica. I've been to Mexico a couple of times, but never been that far down. Been into the Caribbean and stuff. 160 miles off of Halifax, and it's about 26 miles long. Okay, there we go. Cool. So it's over 50, it's about 50 kilometers, something like that, close to 50K. long, 26 miles long. That is cool. Our island is 16.7 miles long. This island right here. So Sable Island is actually bigger than Salt Spring Island. That's pretty wild. And the population on Sable Island isn't a lot. It's just probably the government officials that live there, kind of work and live there, right? Population here is about 10,500 people. 0.8 miles wide. No way. It's not even a mile wide. Where I live, it's very narrow. It's not even a mile wide here. Where I live on the north end, it's not even a mile wide. It's probably that. It's close to that, what you say. And the south end of our island is 6 miles wide. So where I live, it's very narrow. So there's water across the street from me, and there's ocean just on the other side, not that far. So very good growing area up here. It regulates uh, the air temperatures when you live close to the water. So I think Trachycarpus palms would probably grow out on Sable Island. I've always thought that. I've known about Sable Island for a long time, and I think a Trachycarpus would grow there because Trachycarpus palms have made it in Sitka, Alaska for 20 years, and there's some growing in Iceland too. And I know they're growing in Iceland because I have a friend that has been there and he videotaped one for his YouTube channel. Noting beet salt in the air. Beet salt in the air. Yeah. And that's the thing. We don't get harsh winds or anything, so there's no salt spray. We got trees blocking us from the ocean. Close on either side up on the point of this island. But like I say, on the south end, it is about 6 miles wide. And there's some nice beaches here. Most of the beaches here are pretty rocky, but there's some nice ones on the island. Salt in the air, too much salt in the air is going to definitely rust out the vehicles, right? And you don't really see that here on this island, but I've seen vehicles come from Ontario that are really rusted out. I think it's from all the salt they put on the roads. Salt on the roads in the wintertime, right? And they don't really use a lot of salt here. Don't really need it. Our winters aren't that bad, so they don't usually, the salt budget is pretty low here. Yeah, so it rusts out the vehicles. And even here, after a snowfall, they're going to salt the roads when you have snow. So I make sure to wash the car really well after. I don't have any rust on my truck. It's a 2010. Even Wendy's 2006. She had a 2006 CRV mint shape, no rust. She sold it 2 years ago and bought a new RAV4 Toyota. Yeah. So, but they don't really use a lot of salt here, but you can see it when they do in the wintertime. When you do get snow, it leaves a white residue on the road. So it's best to go to a spray wash. Salt on the road only works. Yeah, we don't get minus 25. It's last year was -3 here. Coldest temperature we had was -3 degrees Celsius. Was that what it was? Yeah, 25 degrees. So maybe it's -3.9. Whatever 25 degrees Fahrenheit is, not -25, 25 Fahrenheit. We had one night where it got down to 25 Fahrenheit. So I think that's -3.9. That was the coldest winter temperature. And you know, the funny thing is, we hadn't had any frost until February when the cold came. So it was early February 2025. That's when we got our first frost. It was -3.9 degrees Celsius. We had about 3 to 4 days of winter, and that was it. And we were done. That was our winter. Yeah, so our winters here are usually around, the daytime temperatures around 7 degrees Celsius, something like that. But we do get cold snaps. When Alaska to the north opens their doors up, lets that cold air out, guess where it comes? The jet stream just pulls it straight down, usually over top of our islands. And that warm Pacific air that we have down here, warm, moist Pacific air mixed with that cold, dry Arctic air, and that translates into snow. So even though temperatures don't get so brutally cold here, we can get dumped on with snow. But snow does not hurt the palm trees, okay? Snow does not hurt those palm trees. These palm trees are flawless. It's yeah, we're out here on the southern Gulf Islands, Adam. Southern America, Trump. There we go, Barbie. There we go. Here, where's my flags? There we go. Happy Independence Day. Come on, Starlink. Let me spin that around. There we go. All right. So, Starlink acts up. So we're off the southwest coast of British Columbia on a small island. And happy 4th of July to Barbie out there. Good to have you in the live stream. Thanks for tuning in. But, we're closer actually to the States here. Believe it or not, if you draw, hello from Maripusta. Oh, that's cool. Konstantinos. Constantine, that's a cool name. Wow. My name's really boring. That's a really cool name. Happy Miracle Day. Mercia. Mercia Day. July 4th. Yes, July 4th, 4th of July. And I have a lot of friends in the U.S. So I have to wish them a happy 4th of July. If I was down there, I would be enjoying. You know, we used to spend every Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving on Maui. And we'd have, you know, where we stayed in Kihei, we stayed at this condo every year. And the condo complex would do a massive Thanksgiving dinner. It was absolutely awesome. And November is the U.S. Thanksgiving. Beginning of October is the Canadian Thanksgiving. And this condo, there'd be like 120 people at this dinner. They'd cook like 5 turkeys, you know, these big turkeys. YouTube videos and on my other YouTube channel. So if you go to my YouTube channel, this is actually my wife's YouTube channel. I like to do live streams for her though. So this is Wendy's YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Banana J SSI. So Banana Joe Salt Spring Island. So I'm on Salt Spring Island. Okay, look that up. In the Southern Gulf Islands, and it's like table salt and bouncy spring, right? Salt Spring Island, and it's a really cool place. There's 11 freshwater lakes here, lots of mountains, Pacific Ocean around us, and it's just a good year-round climate. Very, very nice place. If you have to live in Canada, it's a nice place to live. It's far away from all the, how do I say, rat races. I try not to watch the news. We don't have a TV. It broke a few years ago and I threw it in the garbage dump. Our 52-inch big screen, it was Wendy's, it broke. And I took it to the dump. We never replaced it. So I don't really watch mainstream media. I watch Rumble and Highwire and some of the other stuffs, Jordan Peterson. I do not watch mainstream stuff. I don't like it. I don't like anything government funded media because to me, and this is my opinion, everybody's entitled to opinion, it's propaganda and they tell you what they want you to hear. So that's propaganda and they get paid by the government. They're funded. So I don't listen to any of that crap anymore. And I really woke up during the pandemic. I really did wake up. Thank God. Yeah, we had 2 nurses stay at our B&B during the pandemic, and I went down, talked to them. They were down on the lower sun deck, and I threw this out there at them. This is during the height of this I call it the scamdemic. And I went down there and I talked to them. I said, so they work, they're nurses at these 2 big hospitals in Vancouver they worked at. Did you say you have an air? Yeah, we have 2 of them. To see everything except the West Coast, 19 years in the Army. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have 2 B&Bs here. We're on booking.com. Look up Magnolia Petal. Magnolia Petal accommodation on Salt Spring Island, and we have Arbutus Blossom. How old am I? How old do you think I am? How old do you guys think I am? I'm curious. I don't know. How old do I look? To me, I feel a lot younger than my age, right? You know, I think maybe it's the island life. 47, I like this. I like Adam. 55, I like you. 56, 45. You think I'm that young? I'm way older than that, dude. I'm 61. I'm 61 years old. Wendy's 65. So, yeah, you got to live a healthy. You know, the thing living on this island, you got the fresh air. I'm very active. Like so I still work part-time, retired. So I got a semi-retirement job, which is good. But keep busy. I work out. I'm in the gym 5 days a week. I've been working out since, you know, I was 17 years old. I started working out in September 1981. That's when I got my first weights. Got really heavily into it in 83, and I haven't stopped. I used to work out 7 days a week. Now I'm 5 days a week in the gym. Still, I never stopped. I have a Bowflex right at the end of my bed, Ultimate 2, and I have a full gym with all weeder, benches, and weights downstairs. So I appreciate it. And yeah, no, I feel a lot younger than 61. You know, it's funny. I work with 29 and 30-year-old guys, and they give me the grunt work to do, the hard work. I can work harder than those guys. It's just I'm always cranked up. I got lots of energy. I take my vitamins, and I try to live a healthy lifestyle. Hey, man, we're all going to drop dead. You know what I mean? But I try to live a pretty healthy lifestyle. Yeah, I'm 40 and on my 9th heart. No way. You know, I know a guy like that. He's 55 and he's had 3 heart attacks. But you know what it is, buddy? Hey, Adam, it is genetics. It is genetics. So you got to be careful. I have a Canadian accent? Really? Eh? Huh? Well, U.S. Americans go, uh-huh, uh-huh. And Canadians go A. I don't even notice that I have an accent. But, you know, Adam, you got to watch the cholesterol intake then. I'll tell you something. Um, there was this long distance runner named Jim Fix, and he was a vegan. He personified health. He ran marathons all the time. And Jim Fix was running a marathon one day many years ago, and he dropped dead of a heart attack. I think he was maybe 50 years old. So when they did an autopsy on the dude, this guy personified health. I think he was in magazines and everything, and he made the medical journals. So my doctor told me. And because I go for a physical every year, I get checked out. Just got to make sure there's nothing wrong. And you know what? His arteries were all plugged up. It was genetics. So, yep, that's what you got to watch. It's a lot of times you can look totally healthy and feel good, but genetics, can do things to your insides. Do you have abs? I think so. I mean, I do 120 crunches every day. So, yeah, I do. I can say I do have abs. And yeah, I'm not fat. I'm not a fat guy. I'm not super heavy, 190 pounds, and just 5'11". So, but it's funny. So Wendy and I went for a cruise to Alaska at the beginning of May, and I eat lots. Like I got a big appetite. I'm always eating. So instead of taking the elevator, I run the stairs up and down. There's 13 floors, and I was running, like lots of floors every day without taking the elevator. And I would eat like a pig. Every day I just eat, eat, eat. But I eat good. Every morning I'd eat 2 or 3 white egg omelets full of vegetables and salmon and stuff like that. And you know what? I lost weight. I lost half a pound. Everybody gained weight and I lost weight because I went to the gym every day. Every day at about 6:30 a.m. in the morning, I was in the gym. It's actually between 6 and 6:30 a.m. I'd go to the gym, and the gym on the cruise ship is awesome. They have everything. They have treadmills. I didn't go on the treadmill, but I would do. First, I'd go on the free weights on the benches and do all the, the barbells and all that stuff. And then I would go. They were dumbbells. They weren't barbells. They're dumbbells. And then I do my chest, and I do my lats, and then I would go to all the machines. I'd have a circuit every day, and there at the beginning because my buddy says, "Hey Joe, step on the scale." So I stepped on the scale, and then the last the scale, and I lost just over half a pound. Isn't that crazy? Do you have? Let me read that. The sun's in my face here, man. Do you have cheat days, guilty pleasures? Oh yeah, we all do. We all do. So once in a while, like for my birthday, I'll have a banana cream pie. Not the whole banana cream pie, but I'll definitely have a piece of banana cream pie. The other day, when Wendy and I yesterday were out on a motorcycle ride, we stopped in at a really cool restaurant. Well, not a restaurant, a little store on southern Vancouver Island. She says, "Hey, Joe, would you like an ice cream?" So I had it's creamsicle ice cream in a little tiny cup. So yeah, you splurge once in a while. But yeah, the sun is very warm here. I'm going to put up the umbrella. Hang on. I got to get this umbrella up because it's getting too hot. So let's put the umbrella up here. And it's there, that's better. Now I'm in the shade. Okay, let me turn this around. There we are. Now I can actually see the screen. The sun was blasting. But yeah, we all have guilty pleasures. You know what I mean? And of course, at Christmas time, or if it's your birthday, or you go to a wedding, you know what I mean? But I'll tell you what I don't eat. I don't eat things with saturated, or palm oil. I don't like hydrogenated things. I don't eat like pastries with flaky crusts and things like that. I don't eat any of that stuff. I try not to eat sugar. Like I don't eat candies. I don't eat that kind of junk food. For breakfast, I will eat peanut butter on like a whole wheat toast. But once in a while, I have whole grain cereal like Cheerios, and that's probably not good for you either. But I have those once in a while with no sugar on them or anything. But anything processed is generally bad for you, right? And sometimes you can't help eating processed food because pretty much everything's processed unless you're going to eat organic. So Wendy and I try to eat as much organic stuff as we can, right? So I've never smoked in my life. I've never ever smoked, and I rarely ever drink. I'll have a beer once in a blue moon. You know what I mean? So Wendy and I'll have a beer, but we're not big drinkers. I did all that stuff when I was younger. When I was younger, you smoke some pot and you go to Friday night and Saturday night parties with your buddies. But I grew out of that a long time ago, man. When I was 19 years old, I'll never forget. It was end of December. It was December 31st, 1983. And I smoked my last fatty. It was actually my last bowl. Last bowl. And that was it, man. No more after that. I'm 53. I'm cutting out sugar. Yeah. So sugar is a killer. Okay, and not only I think it probably weakens your immune system, but sugar, cut it out and you'll feel a lot better. I quit smoking 3 months ago. Oh, cool. You did it. Good for you, man. I know a guy. So my ex, her stepdad, quit after 45 years. He smoked a lot after 45 years and he lived to 85 years old, right? And you know how he quit? He went to acupuncture. That's what it was. They tried hypnotize and this, that, and he went to acupuncture and they did it. So, yeah, good for you, Joseph. Congratulations to you. Quitting smoking is a big thing. And you know how much money you save when you quit smoking? Man, you save a ton of cash. Ton of cash. Cigarettes here in Canada, I think, are about $20 a pack, right? $20 a pack for Players Light or something like that. So there's 10 packs in a carton. I think it's 22 bucks a pack. So for a carton of cigarettes, it's about 220 bucks for 10 packs of cigarettes. In the States, I know it's cheaper. And if you buy those native ones, it's way cheaper, right? I think it's like 60 bucks a carton. But yeah, no, it's over $20 a pack here in Canada. It's about $22 a pack for 10 cigarettes. Is there 10 cigarettes or 20? No, there might be 20 in 20 in a pack. Yeah, I think there's 20 cigarettes in a pack. That's crazy in my country. €5. Yeah, I'm not sure what a euro is, but it's about $22 a carton. Look it up the prices. It's crazy, man. Cigarettes are so expensive. I don't know how people can afford to smoke here in Canada. $20 for 200 smokes. Wow. That's cheap. 20 cigarettes per pack. Yeah, I think there's 20 cigarettes per pack here. Yeah, I'm glad I never did. Oh, you're from Greece. Cool. Okay, my dad's side of the family is from Italy, right? I'd like to see Greece too. That'd be a nice place to see. All the little islands off of Greece. Oh, and that's Nova Scotian. Wow. I'm sure gas is cheaper out there too. Gas just went down here. It is, come on, Starlink. Died on me for a minute. It was 153.9 for the cheap grade over there, per liter. And here is 159.9. So I subscribe because, there we go. They won't show. Right on. They won't show. Yep. No, and yeah, no, I just try to live a simple life, but a clean life. I just kept pushing. It stopped for a day, smoked for a week, stopped for. Well, Joseph, there is the patch too, right? I mean, I don't know if that works, but I know there's a patch some people put on their arm. There's also nicotine gum, right? There's nicotine gum. People go for hypnosis. People go for acupuncture. But it was my mother-in-law and her husband, which was my ex-wife's stepdad. They went for acupuncture. And it worked for them. And she smoked for years too. I smoke weed from time to time. I used to. You know what? And it's legal here in Canada. And I have nothing against it. I grew it for a long time. I still, grow it once in a while, but I try not to grow it anymore because Wendy's daughter lives with us and she is in recovery. She's a really nice gal. She's 38 and she's in recovery, right? So we can't have any drugs around here. She was addicted to lots of different types of drugs. And it's not good to have any of that stuff around when you got somebody living with you that's actually in recovery. So she's 2.5 years clean now. And Wendy's son is about 8 years clean now. He's 41, which is my wife. Wendy's my wife. And her daughter is 38. She's going to be 39 in October. But she's 2.5 years clean, which is awesome. She's actually at a big rally right now. She's actually at a big AA rally. I am a diesel truck tractor and Adam B, a diesel guy. Cool. Gotta like diesel trucks, man. I'm into that stuff. I'm not into the e-vehicles. You know what I mean? Man, I saw something pop up on the internet today and it popped up. It was global and it just popped up a blurb and it said a guy's e-bike, he was riding it and his battery burst into flames. Just random guy south of Vancouver. And he says if that e-bike was in his house, it would have burnt down his house if he was storing it. Are you more of a dog or a cat person? I like both. I love dogs. We have a dog and we have a cat. I like all animals. I like dogs more than cats, but I still like cats. Wendy's daughter, Krista, has a cat. Do you want me to get my dog and show you our dog? You'll love our dog. He's over 12 years old now, but he's like the coolest little dog and he's got the biggest ears, really big ears. And he's only about 8 pounds. Okay, I'm going to get the dog. It's actually Wendy's Pride and Joy. So wait here and I will get the dog, okay? So just stay right there. We'll put the flag right there. You can see the beautiful red, white, and blue. And hang on, okay? I'm going to get the dog. Kahoo. Kahoo, people want to see you. Where are you? Oh, people want to see He was choked. He was chewing on a bone. Hey, no. He was chewing on a bone. And say hi to the people, cranky pants. He's sitting on the couch chewing on like a, it's kind of, no, it wasn't a bone. It's like dried, like one of the glue sticks. And he just went like, he turns total pit bull. So he's a Yorkie, Havanese, and so he's Yorkie Terrier with Havanese. So he's got that Yorkie attitude. Hey, Adam. And so this is Kahu. Okay, so on April 3rd, he turned 12. He's 12, yeah. But he looks a lot younger. People think he's a puppy. There, he looks like that. he's he's a funny little dog. And whenever ravens or eagles fly over or turkey vultures, he's like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." But he's actually not a yappy dog. But he's a pretty cute. He just got groomed about 2 weeks ago. So every 6 weeks, he gets groomed and he doesn't shed. He doesn't shed fur. He's hyperallergenic. So if you're allergic to dogs, you can actually, oh, what's that? Oh, there we go. And he doesn't have a really squawky little bark. You hear the dogs in the distance barking. What? No, 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 no. Look at his ears, though. Isn't he funny? So that's Kahu. Kahu. No. No. Kahu is short for Kahualave. So he was the smallest of 8 puppies. And I'll tell you the story about this dog. So my oldest son and his wife, they says, come over. They phoned us up. Come over and see our new puppy we got. This was, 12 years ago. It was 12 years ago. So just about 12 years ago. So we go over to their place. And Wendy goes, oh my God, Wendy, my wife, she falls in love. She falls in love with their puppy. And then she asks him, she says, does the person have any more of these dogs for sale? And he says, yeah, he's got 2 more of these dogs. So Wendy phones the guy up. They gave her the phone number. So we go down there. He's on the very south end of our island. Gotta love animals. I like dogs and cats more than most people I meet. 12 years old cat. Cool. Cats can live a long time. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law's cat lived to 21 years old. So we go down to this guy's place, and these 2 dogs, he has these 2 puppies. That was one of them. He's got these 2 puppies there, and one of them is just kind of there minding its own business, not paying attention. And that one right there, the one that I just showed you, was so tiny, he could have fit into my hand. Tiny little puppy. Comes running down to Wendy, and she says, oh my God, this is the one I want. I love this dog. And the guy goes, well, that one's not for sale. And she says, well, I'd really like to get this. He says, well, that's not for sale, that one. But he says, I can make a deal with you. This guy's a wheeler and dealer type guy. She says, well, how much? So, and it was more. The other ones were 300. He wants 600 for this one, just because he knew she really wanted that one. And he said he didn't want to sell it, which I think was BS. So Wendy says, okay. And he says, this is what else I want. I want a piece of your artwork, because Wendy's a really good artist. And I want a 2-night stay in your accommodation for my friends that are coming to visit. She says, I really want this puppy badly. She looks at me and she says, okay. So she caves to the guy. So she gives the guy a piece of artwork, and she gives his friends a 2-night stay in the B&B that we're visiting from Alberta. She gets her little dog. So that was 12 years ago. We've had him. He was born in April 3rd, 2013, and we've had him for over 12 years now, because he was just so tiny when we got him. So he's a good dog. She got him fixed right away. Then she took him to obedience training. He's pretty smart. Does a lot of sleeping. He goes for walks every day. Wendy takes him for walks. We go swimming. Wendy's daughter and I, we swim like year round. We do cold water swimming in the wintertime here. And he'll come out and swim to us and stuff like that. We were swimming. Last week we went for a swim. Actually, no, Monday. I think it was Monday or Sunday we went for a swim, and he'd swim out to us. There's videos. There's videos of our cold water swim. Even on the coldest winter days, I'll go out in that ocean and swim. And that's really good for your immune system. Going for a cold water swim. Look up Wim Hof cold water swimming. Looking at trying to get the palms in there. We're on a nice palmy background. So look up cold water swimming if you want to improve your immune system. You know, when that COVID stuff was going around, I got it. I never took that shot. I never took any of those shots. I just relied on my immune system. So I got over it. I got over COVID really quick. Within like 4 or 5 days, I was done. That was it. Wendy's daughter never took that shot. She was with Wendy and I when we had COVID. She's never had COVID, ever. She was with us in the same house. She never got it. Cold water swimming, man, it really strengthens your immune system. So I started cold water swimming because of Wendy's daughter. And I feel good after I cold water swim. So I remember one day, it was a really cold winter day here. The air temperature was minus 1.5 degrees Celsius, and it was snowing. There was snow coming down, landing on the beach. The ocean temperature was about 7.5 degrees Celsius. And I go in there, and not a problem. So the more you cold water swim, the easier it gets. And there's an old dude called Wim Hof. It's called the Wim Hof cold water swimming method. Look it up. WIMHOF. Wim Hof cold water swimming method. And if you do it, man, it'll be really good for your immune system. Every day I take vitamin C, I take vitamin D, I take vitamin A, and I take vitamin B12. Vitamin A is good for your immune system too. So that cold showers, yeah, cold showers would work too for sure, absolutely. They say a good amount of time to stay in the cold shower or the cold ocean is about 3 to 5 minutes. There was one day I stayed in 20 minutes. Some days I stay in 10 minutes. Not so good. Matter of fact, when I stayed in for 20 minutes, it took me a long time to warm up. And I think I was actually starting to get hypothermia. That was on a cold winter day. Bad. Never do that again. 3 to 5 minutes, I'm good. And I feel way better. I've been around people in close proximity with them, and they've even been in my vehicle, and they've had COVID. Sick. I never got it. Friend of mine's had it many times. I've been with him. I stayed at his place. Never got it. After I got COVID, I never got it again. And I'm working with guys that are still getting COVID. They're getting sick, right? So you can do things to improve your immune system, right? There are a lot of things you can do to improve your immune system naturally. And I'm not no herbalist or anything. I eat everything from the 4 food groups. We're going to have steak tonight. I'm no vegetarian. I'm not no perfect guy. Like I say, I will eat everything from the 4 food groups. And if you put a banana cream pie in front of me, I'm definitely going to have a slice of it, right? But tonight we're going to have some top sirloin steak, potatoes. You got to watch starchy things too if you want to cut down on sugar. Potatoes are high in starch, rice, corn. That's sugar, man. That all converts to sugar. I recently got COVID for the very first, and it was terrible. It's not good. It's not a fun thing. I did not like it. I'll tell you what my symptoms were when I had it. I had a very sore throat. The worst part of me getting that was a very sore throat. I could barely swallow. I had the chills, and then I had the sweats, and then I had body aches. That was it. So to me, it was just like a flu. All right. And I had it for 4 or 5 days, but I lost my sense of taste for about 2 weeks. Sense of taste was gone. Wendy got sicker. She's 4 years older than me, and she has asthma, so she got a bit sicker. And but she got over it. Burger wraps with oh yeah, burger wraps with tomato. Oh, that sounds good, man. I like burger. I like burgers too. I went to A&W yesterday. We rode the motorcycle over to Duncan on Vancouver Island. And we hopped on the ferry, and like I say, there was 8 other bikes on that, 9 other bikes on the ferry. My wife and I never got it. There you go. You got good immune systems, and good for you. There's a lot of people I know that never got it. Wendy's daughter never got COVID. She was with us the whole time. Never. She rarely ever gets sick. Wendy's daughter. So really good immune system. So we went to A&W, and for those people that don't know what A&W is, it's a restaurant kind of like McDonald's, but still better than McDonald's. The burgers, I think, are better. They don't have antibiotics in their meat. They use really fresh lettuce and stuff in there. It's good. So I ordered masala, the veggie masala burgers. I actually really liked them. They're really good, kind of spicy. I had a high fever, headache, sweating nonstop, and I was barely able. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't get the. I didn't have a fever, but I definitely had the chills. Like I was like where you can't warm up even when you're covered up with a blanket. But it was the throat that was the worst. And it beat the crap out of Wendy pretty good. She was body aches. She was bedridden for several days. It kicked the crap out of her, but she got over it. And she's alive and well. I know some people that have had it many times. I work with guys that have it right now. There's one guy right now, and he's probably had it a few times. He's got it right now. He's been off work. He's sicker than a dog. But yeah, I think Wendy's got a pretty good immune system. Hey, Wendy. I hear dogs barking. Sometimes when I hear dogs barking in the distance there, they're over in the property next door. Sometimes people pull in our driveway thinking it's their drive. We have 3 driveways here. And could be a courier. A lot of times Amazon or FedEx. Or there's another one called Dragonfly. And they'll, what are you doing? What are you barking at? Come and say hi.
I was
This is Wendy's channel, okay?
FaceTime my mom. It actually worked, so she answered.
So here's my beautiful wife.
Here's my beautiful husband.
Here's my beautiful
He's
wife.
always on.
It's hard to believe this woman's 65 though. She don't like it. She didn't look it. They said I look 47. I said that's
You look
well, they were
47?
trying to guess my age, and some people said 47. Howdy, Wendy. Somebody says howdy, Wendy.
Hi.
And so we got a lot of people in here today. So she's 65.
I look younger than Joe.
She's 44 years, 3 months, and 23 days older than me, this girl. You know what I mean? I went for the older broad this time, but that's okay.
The only thing that makes you look older is this.
100% 47.
No way.
I like Adam. Adam's a
that's
good
nice.
guy. You both look very beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
He's in Greece. He's in Greece. He's in Greece. Konstantinos.
Oh, wow.
Konstantinos, Konstantine.
Nice.
That's a cool name. Just two dreamers living the life.
The
That's his
dreamers.
name. Wow, nice. So, yeah, she looks pretty good for an older broad, doesn't she?
Older broad.
She's a beauty. She's a great gal.
I'm not
And you know what I
old.
like about Wendy? She likes to ride on the Harley. She lived in North Dakota when she was a
My
kid
wife
too.
is older.
Yeah. Older women are
Just
great.
too. I see.
So yeah,
Yes.
Wendy
Well-
was born in 1959 and I was born in 64. I've always older's
How much
great.
older?
How much older is your wife than you? Is she much older? Wendy's not much. She's 4 years and 3 months. It's not. That's
4
not.
years.
4 years, 3 months.
Yeah.
It's 59 and 64. I was born at the beginning of 64, March 64, and
How
she was
much
born in
older is his
December.
wife?
December. The body is the only old, but the soul stay young.
Oh,
That's
that's
right. Oh, so
right.
your wife is 4 years older too.
Oh,
same like
same.
Wendy. There you go. It's
Same.
funny. All the gals I've been with before were younger. I says, "Well, interesting to be with an older woman. I've always wanted to try out an older woman." It's
Yeah,
like once I
right.
tried the older woman, I'm still with her. We've been
You
together.
had no idea
I had no idea,
it was
but
going to happen. at
I
all.
didn't know it would ever happen. But I mean, I could dream about it. I dreamt about it. She was like my dream girl. This was my dream girl. And you know how we met? I'll tell you how we met. Okay, so I was married for over 26 years to the first gal. Nice gal, too. Really nice gal. And she was a few years young. I'm born in 64, and my last one was born in 66. Isn't that funny? Sagittarius. My last gal was born December 4th, 66. And Wendy was born on December 4th. Or no. Wendy was born December 6th, 59. And my last girl was born December 4th, 66. Both Sagittarius. So my other girl was about 2.5 years younger. My wife. We had 3 kids together, and they're great kids, and she's a really nice lady, and she's even friends with Wendy. And as we grew older, we just kind of grew apart. And that happens sometimes, but we were together over 27 years, married over 26 years, and a really beautiful gal, and she doesn't live that far away. She's over on the Big Island. So I was working on a path one day in the park, at a beach access, and I was making a pathway, a gravel pathway, and I see her. This is in 2012. It would have been early January 2012. And Wendy, I didn't know her from Adam, and she walks down with an older lady, which was really beautiful. Both of them were beautiful. Even the older lady, it was her mom. I found out it was her mom, and I met both of them. And it's, you know, the weird thing is my mom's name was Grace, and her mom's name is Grace, which is even stranger, right? There's all this weird connection stuff. Her ex-husband name is Bill, and my ex's stepdad's name was Bill with a daughter named Wendy. Even weirder, right? Her name's Wendy. Her middle name's Elaine. His ex-wife's name was Elaine. Even stranger. And her mom's the same age as my mom. So anyway, we got chatting. We got chatting on this beach path. And then she knew, hey, you're the guy that grows all the palm trees and exotic plants. I go, yeah, I'm that guy. Oh, Banana Joe. People call me Banana Joe on the side. And I says, yeah. So anyway, we made this connection. We talked. And then, so that was beginning of January 2012. And then early February 2011, they have something here, an event called Seedy Saturday. And I sell palms there every Seedy Saturday. She shows up. She comes up to my booth and buys a bunch of palms from me. So then I see her again. And then I didn't see her. End of March rolls around and I get a request on Facebook from her. And next thing you know, me, Starlink. Oh, that drives me crazy. Sorry, guys, my connection cut out. Wendy's done a bunch of tattoos on me, and a lot of them, a lot of the tattoos I've got done in Hawaii. There's a Hawaiian girl right there. You can see her. I don't know if you can see her. Where is she? Oh, yeah. Where's that one? Here, let me do this. Can you see that? Right there. Can you see the Hawaiian girl? Hawaiian girl. And yeah, Wendy did a bunch of tattoos. Wendy used to have Island Ink here. She'd do tattoos on people, right? No worries. It is a great day to find this channel. Yeah, well, Adam, I'm glad you're in here. This is, like I say, Wendy's YouTube channel, but I do like to do. I shoot a lot of videos for her. She gets so busy doing things. Like I say, we run 2 accommodations here. She runs them, and I do help her out there. And then she's Saturday market vendor. So early tomorrow morning, I got to head down to the market and set her up at just after 6 a.m. Then at around 2:33, pack everything up again. She's always doing something. No worries, a great day. Anyway, thank you, Adam. I appreciate you coming in here. Start a tattoo. I have one on my right leg. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you my I got this one done in Hawaii. So let's spin that around. That is a tiki. There's a tiki right there. That's a Hawaiian tiki. And yeah, we got a lot of tattoos. Wendy's got tattoos too. She got the very first tattoo when she was with me on Maui. And our first time together to Maui was 2012. We went together in November 2012. And she got a tattoo on her neck, back of her neck. It says courage. It's kanji. Japanese. She got a Japanese one. And then she did the ones on her leg by herself. So cool. Yeah, I think most people are tattooed now. You know, I think most people have tattoos. Good part of the population. It's kind of hard to find somebody without a tattoo these days. Years ago, there would be less people with tattoos, and then there's more people with tattoos. My daughter's got them. I don't think my ex-wife has any. My youngest son is fully sleeved up. He's got lots of tattoos. My oldest son, my youngest son turns 25 next week. He's going to be 25. Wow. He actually, there's a hummingbird around here somewhere. He actually makes YouTube videos, music videos. My youngest son is a video editor for a company. He was working down in LA last week, the week before he had to fly down there and do some work. But he has a YouTube channel and he does write. He's been YouTubing since he was a kid, but he started a new YouTube channel several years ago, and it's music videos. He writes, and then they produce the music videos. So he has music videos, kind of hip hop stuff. Oh, you have none. There you go, man. So you're 1 in a million. Keep it that way. That's good, because it's hard to find somebody without tattoos these days. Good on you, Konstantinos. I like that name, Konstantinos. Konstantine. Is that your real name? That's a cool name. So do they call you Constantine for short? Konstantinos, Constantine. That sounds like a emperor or something, man, like a king name. That's pretty cool. My name is just Joe. On my birth certificate is Joseph. But anyway, check out, yeah, that's your real name. That's a super cool name, man. Wow. Like some Greek god or something, like Konstantinos. Man, I would be using that name all the time. I'd like to say that. Hey, what's your name? Konstantinos Constantine. KC. Cool. That is a cool name. That's probably one of the coolest names I've ever heard. Adam's cool too, but Constantine is up there, man. Konstantinos. That's a pretty awesome Greek name. Joe's just a regular old boring name. But, you know, my dad's name was Joe, and so they named me Joe. But, yeah, Konstantinos, I've never heard that. I've heard Constantine before. It's kind of like these old Roman emperors like Caligula or Longinus. You know what I mean? They had these different names back then. So I think Konstantinos is a very old name, because in Greece, it's a lot of history, like Italy. A lot of history. They go way, way back, thousands of years. So I'm thinking Konstantinos, that name is probably thousands of years old, which is really cool. And of course, Joseph, Adam and Eve. Well, Adam was in the Bible, so that's a really old name. Joseph, that's an old name too. I have an old name. Actually, Wendy is a new name. Did you know that? You know where the name Wendy came from? It came from Peter Pan. Before Peter Pan, there was no Wendy. So in 1904, I believe, was the first Peter Pan play, and that's where they used the name Wendy. J-O is meaning it's just about symposium. J-O. And it's and mine's J-O-E, right? Joseph is my name on my birth certificate. But, you know, when I was a kid, people called me Joey. And then when I got older, I remember I moved from a suburb of Vancouver out south of Vancouver, and I started a new school. And the teacher, when I went to meet the teacher, says, what would you like the kids in the class to call you? What would you like me to call you? She says, call me Joe. So in 1976, when I turned 12 and I was in grade 7 and I started a new school, I says, that's when my name became Joe. It wasn't Joey, but you know, I still get people call me Joey. I worked with a guy for a long time. He always called me Joey. Sometimes Wendy calls me Joey. It makes me feel younger, right? You know what? Do you want me to show you something? I'll show you the very first lady that starred in Peter Pan, and her name was Wendy. Do you want to see it? Her name in the play was Wendy. Do you want to see where the very first name Wendy came from? Do you want to see which person they called? Yeah. I bought it for Wendy for her birthday. I'm going to get you. This is a bit of history here, okay? Wait right here. I'm going to grab it. Hey, Wendy. I'm giving them a history lesson on Wendy. Look, I'm giving them a history lesson. Okay, guys. I bought this for Wendy for her birthday. I bought her a bunch of cool things when she turned 65 on December 6th. So this is an old postcard from 100 years ago. Okay, over 100 years ago. This girl right here, and you can Google her name. This girl right here, her name is Hilda Trevalier. Hilda Trevalier played the very first Wendy in Peter Pan. She starred in about 900 plays, and I think she was British. 900 Peter Pan plays from 1904 to whenever she did them to. But that was the very first Wendy, and that's where the name came from in Peter Pan. It came from Peter Pan, Wendy. And that's a postcard I bought Wendy because I bought her a bunch of things that kind of meant something to her for her 65th birthday. I bought her some really nice Navajo jewelry and earrings and this and that, but that was a little piece of nostalgia. And you can see her name right there. You can look that up. Miss Hilda Trevelyan. And that is the very first Wendy right there. And yeah, and it's autographed. That is actually her autograph. That is her real autograph on there. Isn't that cool? And that's why I got it for her. So she is. So Wendy, my Wendy, was born on December 6th, 1959. This lady died close to her birthday in 1959. She died in November 1959. About 3 weeks before Wendy was born, this lady died. Isn't that crazy? So there it is. That's where Wendy comes from. Her right there. Her name is Hilda. But in the play, she was Wendy in Peter Pan. The very first Wendy in Peter Pan. There's your history lesson right there, man. So she had that stuck on the side of the washing machine with a magnet. So, and because she turned 65, I had to get her some cool things. You only turn 65 once. And when you turn 65, there's definitely perks. So I'll tell you some of the perks when you turn 65. First of all, you get old age pension from the government. So the government sends you more money, which is good. When you ride the ferries to get off our island Monday to Thursday, you don't pay. So Wendy, yesterday we came back on our motorcycle. So it's free for us to leave our island if we're going to go to Vancouver Island. But coming back, we got to pay. I had to pay $12. Wendy paid nothing because she's 65. So 65 and older, Monday to Thursday, you can ride the ferries and you don't have to pay. So it's a bonus getting older. So I still have 4 more years to go before I don't have to pay for the ferry. And I will get old age pension too. It's not always fun getting older, but like I say, it's up here. It's how you feel up here. I don't feel 61. I feel like I'm 31. Honestly, I have the energy of a 31-year-old. As long as I get my 8 hours sleep every day, I'm up early every morning, and I work hard every day. And that's why I do physical work at my job too. I do hard work, digging holes and this and that, and it's good, man. I like it. It's once you stop moving, I think you kind of seize up like like an engine that's not getting used, or maybe some piece of metal, 2 pieces of metal that are getting rusty, and there's too much friction in there. There we go. We're live again. Sorry about that, man. I'm sorry about the connection. The Starlink kind of messes up sometime. Have the Starlink up on the roof there. It's about 40 feet away from me on the other side of the house, but the modem thing is on the other side of the house in the house. So anyway, Adam, I'm glad you're here. I will try to do more live streams. I will try to do a live stream tomorrow. This was a special 4th of July live stream. So for my American friends, because I have a lot of American friends. And you know what? Just an imaginary line that separates us all. Everybody's blood is the same color. That's what I always say. I don't judge people, and I'm not racist or anything. Everybody's blood is the same color, right? We're all equal. So I know Canada, with the politicians, and I want to get into politics. Oh, they were bashing this and that and say, you know what I mean? Don't bash your friends south of the border, man. Americans are good people. They're no different than Canadians. We have jerks here too. They have jerks there too. Wherever you go, you're going to find good people and jerks, right? So that's why I'm flying the American flag today for my for my friends here. Yeah, 100% Adam, you agree. That's the way I feel too. It's dying on me. There we go. We're live again. So I'll go for a little bit longer and then I'm going to pack it in. And then tomorrow morning, just after 6 a.m., I will set Wendy up at the Saturday market. Look for shorts on here. I have a lot of short videos. I shoot short videos on here every day. So you can stay tuned. You can see what's going on, life on this island. So check out the short videos. There's a lot of videos on this channel, regular videos. There's lots of live streams, but I do. So check out the shorts. And happens here in this part of Canada. Adam, you are four time zones east of here. 4 time zones. We're Pacific Coast time. Currently, I don't know what time it is here. Whatever time it is there, Adam, we're 4 hours behind you, right? So stay tuned for a live stream tomorrow. I'll try to get one in here. I'm going to get Canada too, though, man. We do have clown running this place too. 9:04. Wow, so it's 5:04 here. Wow. You're using Starlink too. Cool. I like it. It's faster for me to upload videos with Starlink. Our internet here sucks. I'll tell you one thing. There's no cell service at this location on the island. You will not get any cell calls here. There's no cell phone service. So, which is it's 3 a.m. in Greece. Whoa, Constantino, 3 a.m. Man, you're going to be tired, brother. You're going to be tired. Are you going to get some sleep? Or are you just going to stay right up till it gets light out? It stays light here till like 10 at night, at this time of the year. And right now it's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't get any better. It's about 21 degrees. Same here, full cell service. You got no cell service either. That's crazy. I thought we were the only place that didn't have it. Interesting. So it's very similar there to here. Yeah, check out Salt Spring Island. You can see what it's like here by looking at my videos. Watch the videos. My YouTube channel, like I say, this is Wendy's YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Banana J SSI. Check out that. I got a lot of videos on Banana J SSI. I think there's like 25,000 videos on my YouTube channel. And there's a lot here too. There's thousands of videos on this channel. And sometimes Wendy will grab the phone and shoot a few videos when she takes the phone off island with her. She's in Vancouver or down in Sedona, Arizona. She was in Sedona, Arizona in March. And then we went up to Alaska. So every day we were in Alaska in May, I shot videos here. I go to bed soon. I'm talking to you guys from future already. That's cool. July 5th there. Right. Constantino, you got to like that. You got to like Greece, man. Oh, olives there, figs. Greece is a beautiful country. Just Two Dreamers Living. I like that name. Just Two Dreamers Living Life. See you later. See you later to Just Two Dreamers. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. That's a pretty cool name. I know a guy too. He's got a YouTube channel, White with Dreamy Eyes, but I think he changed his name of the channel. Anyway, see you later, buddy. Have a great day or great evening. Just came. Boomer Elbow Dude, Mr. Burns. That's funny. I'm on StreamYard on the weekends doing live shows. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Adam B. So that's your channel, Adam B. I'll have to check that out. Cool. I used to do live streams all the time on Banana JSSI, and I do live from the radio room too. Live from the radio room on Jungle Josie Video Gates. Have a good one there. Just Two Dreamers Living Life. I kind of like that's Wendy and I. Just Two Dreamers Living Life. Like the Aussie song Dreamer. Sometimes I actually use the Aussie song Dreamer to some of my videos here. I love shooting shorts because I can put cool tunes to them. It's actually, I do have ham radios. It's 11 meter band. So it's basically 11, it's a ham radio with a CB radio capabilities in it, 11 meter band, but I talk usually above 40, channel 40. So CB radio is 26965, which is channel 1 to 27405 megahertz. I like to talk above that. So I talk all over the world. I've actually talked to about 85 countries on my radios, right? So there's my radio room there. See that little shake building. There's my 3-element flat side Yagi beam pointed south into California. IMAX 2000. Sigma Venom antenna, and then there's an Antron 99 over there. But yeah, I talk all over ham radio talk too. Talk anywhere I want with that flat side Yagi. I've had a lot of antennas up over the years, and by far, that one I'm happiest with. I sometimes make my own skip. Like I say, the solar cycle have really messed up the long distance talk these days. So I kind of I kind of fish for Skip daily. I go in there. I worked one station in Northern California this morning and one in Fresno, Central Cal. GFMR channel 16. Cool. Right on. It's great, man. I'm on 7 meter. Oh, cool. 146. I have a Baofeng. What is that? A 2 meter? But I can't really. I mean, I can't really talk on it just because I don't have my ham license. And actually, for 11 meter band, I used to have a 11 meter band radio license back in the 70s, but in the 80s they did away with it. I do code when it's. Oh, cool. Right on. I used to have actually I do have an oscillator somewhere, but the nice thing about it, you got the butterfly ones, or do you have the the one where you press down? I had the old school one, but I was code I heard, and talk to on 11 meter band are how. Want to see the radio room? I'll show you the radio room. I don't know if you. I'll go into the radio room and I'll show you some of my radios. My radios, I talk and go from 24 to 32 megahertz. Some of them. And then I have variable frequency oscillator. My breath, I don't have the. Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool. That's very cool. Okay, so let's go into the radio room here. And that's hopefully my signal doesn't die out here with the Starlink. Radio Shack. This is my Radio Shack here. Let's turn on the light. Come on, signal. Don't die. I usually talk on this one the most, my RCI. I'm on 27.385 right now. That one goes from 24 to 32. This one goes from 24 to 32 RCI. That one's got high freaks in it. That one's got low freaks in it. That's a VFO on an old radio right there. Call sign is 9 Alpha Tango 791. It's out of Italy. That's a worldwide group, started in 1978 out of Italy. There's my QSL card right there. And then I got cards that I made, and I got in North Carolina in 19. I've had a lot of QSL cards over the years. I've made these ones here. These are my cards here, 791. Right? They got the QSL back, and then those ones same. Right? So those are my QSL cards. I had those ones made in 81. And then I've had the first cards I had made was 1977 or 78. And I still have some of them kicking around too. So that's the call. I'm in the. It's basically when you're in sideband, you're in a group, right? Membership, 9 Alpha Tango 791. Alpha Tango group is worldwide, right? So it's a good club, and yeah, I work people all over the world in my Radio Shack here. It's lots of fun. The rotor for the beam is here. I'm running a 3-element stereo flat side Yagi, made in Italy. This is a 500 watt, half a kilowatt linear here. That's 200 watt. That's made in Italy. That's a 200 watt. I have one in the truck too. Radio. That's a 350 watt. That's a high drive variable. That one's off right now. That goes from 0 to 30 megahertz. So it's a good hobby. And like I say, being retired, even better, more fun. But I've been into it since 1977. D104. D104 Tug 9, D104 Tug 8, preamps, M6B preamp, M6B a static preamp, and there's an 87 DM, 878 DM static desk mic preamp too. Another one over there. So some of the equipment's old. There's a unit in Bearcat, and then my very first radio is that one right there, 1977. And there's a CPI counter and some older radios there. I got more in the other shed too. So lots of radio stuff in the radio room. Radio noise. My call on is 16-ish is separate. Oh, cool. Right on. Well, here's my Baofeng. But I mean, I listen on it. Right there. See that one right there? It's charging Baofeng. So that's actually a pretty cool little radio. And I got a mic that plugs into it as well. Bought that one in the States. It was like $60. And they're pretty cheap radios. They're Chinese. A lot of people run Anytone too. The Anytone radios, they're pretty nice. I've talked to Nova Scotia lots, man. I've talked to I'll tell you what, I've talked to every province, talked to territories. I've talked to every state. I'm going to say hundreds of times. And now total of about 85 countries. In order to get into the Alpha Tango group, you have to work over 50 countries. So yeah, it's a pretty cool group. And it doesn't cost anything to join. I bet you we've talked before. You know what? I do video gates. You got to check out my YouTube channel. It's all people I talk to, right? It's called Jungle Joe C Video Gates. So Jungle Joe C like Charlie Video Gates, like Garden Gate, not video games, video gates. And I log everybody I talk to. I log, but I also make videos. So people I'm talking to, it'll be on my Video Gate channel, and you can see where I talk every day. So if I talk to you, you go onto that channel and you take the little magnifying glass, the search engine on the YouTube channel, punch in your number and your area, your QTH, and a video might come up of you talking to me. I'm going to sleep. It's about time. Pleasure. Hey, Constantinus with the cool name, Constantine in Greece. Have a great morning, my friend, and cheers to you in beautiful Greece. Have a great one. Thanks, buddy, for coming in here. And come in anytime, stop by. I'll try to do a live stream tomorrow. And remember, we're on a small island off the far west coast of Canada, southwest coast of Canada. That's where we are. And, well, man, this jasmine is so fragrant. Oh, my God. It is so nice. You like my tikis here? I carved these with a chainsaw, these tikis. These are tikis I carve out of driftwood. I carve a lot of tikis, and there's more here, too. Right there. There's some tikis there. Freaky tikis. Those are chain. Come on. Looks like my Starlink is acting up. There's the Starlink on the roof up there. So not that legal, but it tunes in. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, you don't even have to have a license for 11 meter band radios. CB radios, free for all. You just, you can be nice to everybody on there. You still get a few idiots that act up on there, and I'm sure they happen on ham radio too. But there's always going to be fools out there in the airwaves, right? And I just kind of go to a different channel. That's what I do. But there was one guy on 38 all the time, and I used to avoid it. And he's not coming. I think he was in Arizona, just constantly playing music and making noise. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. Basically ruined the channel for everybody else, right? So, but I'll be listening for you out there, man. Nova Scotia. That I don't get to talk to Nova Scotia a lot, but I do like to talk to Nova Scotia when I hear it. I love talking to the maritime provinces. Don't hear them that much though. I do call outs, but I'm not there to get tape on the receiver. Oh, cool. Right on. Well, I'll listen for you, man. And if you hear me out there, there's a dude I talked to a few times in Newfoundland. You know where I really want to talk is those two islands off of Newfoundland, St. Pierre and Miquelon. You know, those French islands. Those, I've never heard those islands before. I wonder if there's any operators out there on St. Pierre and Miquelon. That's where I really want to talk. And, but it's always a pleasure to talk to Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, Newfoundland. Don't hear those areas much. The skip doesn't come that way much. We're usually getting southeastern skip every morning. We were getting Europe. Every morning we were getting Europe. I haven't had Europe in here for probably maybe 2 months now. I got guys I talk to every day in Northern Ireland. I talked to Ralph, 61 Charlie India 749. 68 Charlie India 749. I'd be talking to him every morning. Our time would be 8 hours ahead there, I think, something. But 100% the Coast Guard runs 2 channels on and off. Cool. Right on. Hey, how's the lobster out there, man? You're lucky you live in Nova Scotia. See, we got Dungeness and rock crab. You got that lobster out there, man. I love lobster. Ugh, I wish we had lobster out here. Lobster's so expensive. Well, Dungeness crab is too. Dungeness crab is a lot of money. But lobster, oh man, big bucks. Anyway, I'm going to pack this in pretty quick here. I'm going to get, because it's going to be dinner time soon. And I got to help Wendy. Lobster sucks. Oh, is it? No way. Is it not good? Really? I thought it was good. did I have any on the cruise? I don't think I had any on the cruise this time. No, I didn't have any lobster. You had to pay extra for it. But I love lobster. Here, I got crab traps. Just throw the trap in the ocean. We have lots of prawns around our island, right? I'm sure you have all that stuff there too. If you're on the Atlantic Ocean, you have crabs. Do you have crabs there? I guess you have crabs. I mean, if you have lobsters, I'm sure you have crabs out there. We have Dungeness, rock crab, and if you go farther north, of course, you're going to get the Nova Scotian. And if I caught a lobster, they take. No way. Are you serious? So you have to have a commercial license to get lobster? That is crazy, man. No, here anybody can catch crabs, but you have to have a license. Like I just go get a fishing license. So if I want a tidal water license, it's for 1 year. I think it's like maybe $30, and I can catch as many crabs as I want. Right? No way, that's crap. They're gonna they so you can't go lobster fishing. You have to buy them from the people that catch them. Man, I can go prawning too. You can throw the prawn traps on the west side of our island. The prawn boats come in and I buy prawns from them. It's just easier for me to go down to the docks and buy. That is sad, man. That's what this country has come to, Adam. You know what I mean? Just politics, greed. There we go. Unbelievable. I'm not paying $17 for a flavored shells. Dirty. That's terrible what they do, eh? Those bastards, man. Awful. Yeah, that's not fair for you living in Nova Scotia. You should be able to catch as many freaking lobsters as you want. $17 for flavored shells. That's terrible. Ugh, gross. Chemicals. I got to start the barbecue for Wendy. So sorry, man. The live stream it dies sometimes. The connection is really bad. Thanks, Adam. Sorry about that. I apologize. Sometimes it dies, so bear with me. I'm going to start the barbecue here. We're doing steaks. I let Wendy do the barbecuing because you know what? Wendy barbecues great steaks. She is a good barbecuer. The problem with me, I overcook them. So what we're going to do, we're going to start up this Napoleon. Got the fire going. She likes a nice hot grill, like at around 400 degrees or something like that. I'd pay $100 for a summer of a 5 week. Really, for $100. Yeah, you know, you buy a lobster tail and they are a freaking small fortune. You go to the, on the cruise ship, I think for a lobster tail is like $25 or something like that for a little one too, dinky one. There we go. Barbecue started. Oh, you know what? This does not like the heat. See that? See, this is right above the barbecue. See how that's wilted right there? This fatsia, these tropical like fatsia plants. And that's why this palm frond over here is, I was wondering why it doesn't look good. It's kind of burnt a little bit, like from the heat. See that? That palm frond, not like the barbecue, the heat. That over there. And this poor thing, oh man, I'm going to push this up here. Put it up there. There we go. Poor fatsia. I do like, like fresh lobster. I love crab. Love crab meat too, man. Crab is good. But I have 3 crab traps. And you just throw, chunk of frickin' fish head in there or whatever. I mean, they're just scavenger bottom feeders. And then throw it in the ocean. And you wait like about a half hour or so, and you're going to have crabs in there. We have a lot of crabs around this island. So easy peasy to catch. Really easy. Man, what a nice day. What a very nice day out here. It's absolutely beautiful. So there's the native flora, the big trees, the big Douglas fir. I can smell the barbecue. It's going to be nice when she puts that steak on there. Very slight breeze. See those big trees up there? You can see them just moving a little bit. Those are arbutus trees. It's the only place in Canada these grow. This is the only place in Canada these trees will grow. Those ones there. See, they got peeling bark like a eucalyptus. They look tropical. They're green year round. Got rubbery kind of green leaves on them. They get white flowers in the spring that smell like honey, and then they're followed by red berries. In the fall, the birds eat them, and the bark peels off. Sheets. They're messy trees, but they're beautiful. So those are called Pacific Madrona, or arbutus trees. They need exact requirements to grow. They can't stand extreme cold, and they can't stand extreme heat, and they need extremely fast draining soil, and they're one of the most difficult trees to transplant. Even baby ones, they'll die if you touch one root on them with a shovel. You can see the bark starting to peel there, right there. See, it's starting to peel. You can see the berries forming up there. Wait till I do live streams in the fall, you'll see the red berries on them, and these ones are growing above the palm trees. They are beautiful trees, but they're constantly dropping these leaves. All summer long, they drop those leaves, which drives Wendy crazy because we're raking. I was raking. This palm tree here is getting some seed on it. It wasn't a great pollination year this year, but you can see the little seeds forming on it. If I could type as fast as you talk, I'd have an act. If I could type as fast as you talk. Right on. I'm not a good typer. I'm a one finger. I don't know why that Starlink keeps dying like that, man. I don't know why that Starlink keeps dying like that, man. It's pretty annoying. Jesse, there you are. I've been on this hours just about. Um, yeah, I'm waiting for the Starlink to load. I'm going to show you. There's the Starlink there. That stupid thing, man. It's supposed to work better than that. Come on, Elon. There it is up there. But yeah, no, I'm here. I do these live streams fair bit, Jesse, and on Gulf Island Rock here. It's just that I don't really get good Wi-Fi out in the radio room, so I haven't been doing much on Jungle Joe C video gates. I do video gates every day. I'll shoot them. And Banana J SSI, I upload every day to that channel, but I just haven't done any live streams. Right now we're barbecuing. Wendy's going to barbecue some steaks. But yeah, thanks for joining in. Leaves are route food. Well, these leaves here are crunchy, man. I'll show you. Show you what these leaves are like. They're crunchy. Here, let me spin this around. They're like that. They're dry. It's very dry here. And, you know, just rake this. This morning I took a load out of here. Wendy raked it up. I took the piles away. And it's so messy. So tomorrow there's going to be that many more leaves on the ground. Anyway, Jesse, hope all is well out there in your neck of the woods. Life is good here on these little islands in the Pacific. And leaves are root food. Yeah, so they'll rot down. And you know what I do? I just throw them in a big compost pile. That's what I do. Throw everything in the big compost pile, except the palm fronds. I throw them in a different pile because palm fronds are completely different. They don't really break down that easy. It takes a lot more to break down a palm frond on these guys here, right? So, but you know, it's pretty much an organic garden we have here. When I worked for the Parks Department, I'd bring home bucketfuls of clippings, lawn clippings from the parks I'd mow in Rubbermaid garbage cans. So it'd be leaves. I'd have a bagger lawnmower, and I'd bag up the leaves and the grass clippings, dump them in here, bring it to Wendy. I'd bring them all home, and she'd throw them all in the garden. So that's how she. There we go. Sorry about that. Starlink messed up again. You could make a roof out of them. Yeah, you could. If you could make a roof out of them, yeah, you could. If actually, matter of fact, I have some in the tiki. I've made kind of a tiki hut wall with them. When you get the dried ones, right? The dried fronds, they're beautiful. The palm fronds. Look at them. These are fan palms, right? Windmill palms, and they do actually produce a lot of fronds each year, too. Look at them. Gorgeous, huh? They're all over the place. Just so many of them on this property. This one's really nice because you can see it through the. There's a feather palm, so there's different types of palms. This is called a pinnate palm, feather palm. That's a date palm, one of my seed grown, and that's a fan palm. See, and then in the distance there, you see that? That's a tree fern, giant tree fern, but you can see the difference. That's a fan palm, windmill palm, and then here is the feather palm right there, pinnate. That's called pinnate palm tree. It's your date palm. And I forget how many years ago I grew that. It could have been 10 years ago. That's also fan palm too. No worries. It's just our FBI trying to watch something wholesome. Yeah. Well, we do actually have cops on this island too. Most of the time they just leave you alone. If you're good, they won't bother you. But if you're bad, they probably will bother you. Okay, I have to check the barbecue temperature. Wendy said check the barbecue temperature. Hey, there's some petunias, black ones. Look at that. Black petunias. What do you think of that? Wendy's got a lot of flowers around here. Some beautiful. You can eat these too. You can eat these nasturtium flowers, and you can eat the leaves. Aren't those beautiful? Let's go see what we got here. Smells like it's pretty hot. Wow, Adam B, man. You're a dude. You're the cool dude, man. Thanks for joining. Oh, man. You're awesome. I better make Adam B a moderator. That's what I'm going to do. Leave another comment. I can make you a moderator here. Thanks, Adam. You're a good dude. I think we're like-minded. Wendy's actually like-minded, too. We're like-minded people. Hey, Wendy, say thanks to Adam, okay? Because Adam just gave you $20.
No.
Yeah, he says, you're amazing, Adam B. See right there. Says,
Thank you. Thanks, Adam.
This is
wow.
This is Wendy's channel, but I do like to do live streams, so
Joe does.
yeah. Well, I do them for Wendy. I keep the channel going for her. Oh. Uh, there we go. Adam, you will now, as a moderator, have a blue wrench beside your name. You should have a blue wrench beside your name. Thanks, man. You're amazing. Well, you're amazing too. That's pretty nice.
That's pretty nice.
There you go. You just made Wendy's
Where's
day.
Adam live?
He's in Nova Scotia.
No
He's just tuned
way.
in. There you go.
We've never been there.
No, I'd love to go to Nova Scotia, man. It would be awesome. So that would be, that's the part of Canada that actually really interests me. Nothing much in between really does interest me, but the West Coast and the Atlantic Coast interest me. And I have friends that ride motorcycles like me. I ride a bike, and they're going to the East Coast. They're actually heading over to Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, PEI on a bike ride. And that helps, man. Thanks, Adam. That's really nice of you. Adam is a moderator. There you go, man. You got the wrench beside your name. And glad to have you in there, man. I'm glad you tuned into this channel. And it's fun. It is fun doing live streams. And you can see what goes on in other parts of Canada. You know what I mean? We're a long way away. Canada's a big country. But yeah, no, that's cool, dude. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate like-minded people in here. And you're one of those good dudes, I can tell. So come in anytime. And if people fool around and you don't like it, well, you can give them the boot now because you're a moderator. You see, if somebody's in here spamming, I hate spammers. I hate when people come in here and, cause H&D, hate and discontent. Like some channels get a lot of spammers. I would get a few on my other channels. And so far, Wendy's channel hasn't been that bad. There's actually usually a good bunch of people that come in here. I try not to talk about too many controversial things. Most of the stuff I talk about is like, that people can relate to. Gardening. I like nature, gardening. And you know what? I treat people the way I want to be treated. So you treat people nice. Well, generally, you're going to be treated nice. And I said to somebody, I like dogs more than most people I actually meet. So I like animals. Well, I like to have a trip out there. I can drive. I can't drive a Harley no more, but my tractor. Ah, cool. Right on, man. Yeah, I ride. I have a Heritage Softail. I sold my other Harley last September, but I do have a Heritage Softail. Wendy likes to ride on the back with me, and we don't do big trips. Just small trips. Go to some coffee shops off island. Yesterday we hit A&W. Went down to the beach over in Maple Bay, and just gets us off of this island. That's a problem when you're on this small island. You gotta get up. That's really nice, Adam. Good dude. Adam made Wendy's day. Okay, so I wish all my friends once again in the U.S. This is really annoying. The Starlink, it's crapping out on me. This is really annoying. The Starlink, it's crapping out on me. Anyway, Adam and everybody else that was in there. Cheers to you guys, and have a great day or evening. It's actually evening in Nova Scotia. Let me put my reading glasses back on, and I won't forget about the barbecue. And once again, thanks again for that support, Adam. You made my wife's day, that's for sure. Cheers! And we'll see you next live stream here on Gulf Island Rock. And I got to check out Adam's channel now, too. Check out Adam's channel. All right? Because Adam has a channel, too. So we're going to check it out right when I finish this live stream. But first, I got to make mashed potatoes. Adam B., take care, buddy. And have a good one out there on the East Coast, Atlantic coast of Canada. We'll see you next time.